There comes a day when you look at your life and you realize that you've been waiting. You've been waiting for the right time, waiting for someone to see you, to notice your effort, everything that you put into everything that you do, waiting for the fear to disappear before finally taking that step or that leap. But what if the fear never sees away, never goes away? What if the courage isn't the absence of fear, but the decision to move forward? Psychologists call this a breakthrough, emotional collision of pain, exhaustion, and everything, all kinds of emotions together that you hope deep inside of you that they disappear and help you move forward. That moment, you say, it's enough. I can do this on my own. It is in that moment that survival transforms you into a powerful person, and power turns into purpose. Every entrepreneur, every dreamer, every strong woman that I've ever met has lived that moment in silence before they lived their success. And today's guest is no different. Today's episode is titled, No Fear Between Me and Success. I'm your host today, Esther Flores. Welcome to Café Entre Amigos. Today's guest, she started from the ground up, working hard for somebody else, being sure that she did everything that she needed to do to make somebody else's dream come true. Until one day she decided to build her own thing, start from scratch. From that decision, Covering the Cape was born. One of the most successful and recognized businesses in the Southwest Florida area. It's a paver outdoor construction company. She's a wife, mother, an entrepreneur, and a woman that reminds us that fear should not stop us from becoming who we are meant to be, the best of ourselves. Hi, Donna. How are you today?
I'm doing well, thank you.
I'm very, very good. I want to thank you overall for being here and talking to us. Just for a little bit of context, I've known Donna for a good now, it's going to be almost, I'm going to say 10 years. And now since I met her, and I admire her so much because she's always been determined, direct to the point, and a successful woman, which is what I aspire to be. I wanted to talk to Donna so that way you guys can see that it doesn't really require to have, you don't really require a huge amount of money to start. It just requires determination and not letting fear stop you. So before we go into the business part, Anna, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? What kind of little girl were you growing up? And maybe who was Donna before Covering the Cape?
I was a tomboy for sure. I wouldn't say I had a hard life. I would just say that my parents were we grew up quite poor. They just had regular 9 to 5 jobs, but my parents always tried to be entrepreneur. My father was very he tried a lot of businesses, a convenience store, he owned a bar. But they always taught me that you have to do a little bit extra. They always had side work, side projects. My father was a mechanic. They would fix up boats, cars, and sell them on the side. And my mom would work, she worked for 911 operator, and he was a mechanic for the police department. But he passed when I was 9. And I think that was an eye opener for me to know that there's no securities in life, that you have to always prepare yourself, work hard, keep money in the bank, and that you can be successful. My mom raised my sister and me, and just her income and her side hustles, and did very well for herself. So I think the thing about me is I've always been a worker. I started working when I was 14, and I've never stopped to this day. And I'm
Excellent.
52. Yeah.
Oh
So,
my goodness.
yeah. So hard work just pays off. It just pays off. You just have to be smart about your money and, always make good decisions.
Yeah.
So,
And that's a really a tough lesson for the youth nowadays. Everything, money seems to be just coming and going because they seem to think that it's so easy to find it. But easy money comes, easy money goes, right?
yeah.
Talking about your mom, I just want to go a little bit into it because I had the pleasure of knowing your mom. And I know she played a big role in your life as an example, right?
Hmm.
Losing her a few years ago must have changed changed you deeply and in the way you see. How did that experience shift?
I don't I don't know that it actually changed a lot for me other than just missing her. The one thing that my mom was always good at is she never left a phone conversation without telling me how proud she was of me, how much she loved me, and just that she appreciated me. And the one thing that that has always left me with is treat everybody like that. Like if you tell your loved ones you love them. Show people that you love them. Don't hesitate to say the things that you want to say. Make the phone calls that you want to call. I mean, just do the things that you are putting off. Make sure you get them done because you never know when somebody's last day is. And I always feel like that's just super important. She just drove me to always want to do better and make her proud because we all want to make our moms proud. I think that's just normal. And she was such a strong lady figure. She lost my dad, and he was definitely the love of her life. When I was 9, and my sister was, I guess, what, 13, and she raised us girls, for 3 years on her own until she met my stepdad, and she's just always been a leader and very good with money, very, I wanna say frugal, you know, which
Hmm.
I wish I had more of, but she just taught me a lot of life lessons that, I really appreciate. I had a really good mom, really good mom.
So talking about that, I guess, discipline that you're talking about, because that's what I hear, core discipline on
Mhm,
how to handle things. How did
mhm.
that manage and turn you into the professional that you are today while you were working for somebody else?
I started when I started my career, I didn't know it was going to be a career. I was just looking for a job, and I started at the paver manufacturing plant. And I had worked my way up from there, and I wanted a higher paying position there. And the guy literally says, "You're a girl. You belong behind a desk, not climbing on trucks," because I wanted the shipping production. And I thought, well, I'm not going to go anywhere here. This is it for me. So I put my feelers out, and paving stone company, which was one of the largest here back in the day. We're talking 23 years
Hmm.
ago, was looking for somebody. So I went there, and they let me do the running of the jobs part. And then from there, I went to Southern Pavers, and he basically let me run his company. I thought after 2 years, I can do this. I can do this on my own. I'm doing this for somebody else, and they are, all the financial wealth of it and everything else. So I had already saved up enough money to purchase my first house. I sold it. I made $40,000 and I put it in the bank. I went full into it, quit my job, my license, got a truck, and started full blown. I did everything, every aspect of my business did on my own. I had no salespeople. I had no accounts payable, accounts receivable. I was it. And my biggest thing was that I wanted to be able to take my girls to school, pick them up, and take care of them when I needed to. And that was the most important thing to me. And from then on, I started and my business grew every year. Every year it practically, grew by a quarter to a half. It's just been a love of mine. I mean, I love what I do. I mean, the pavers are beautiful. We provide something to people that is just really, really nice. So it's easy. It's easy to sell, and it's easy to be passionate about.
Did you have a moment while you were working for somebody else? I know you're talking about, in a specific, but what I mean is
Mhm.
a moment that something happened. I don't want to know the situation, but that day when that happened, that made you say, "Oh my gosh, enough is enough." Like maybe a sick day or your daughters or.
I I have to be honest with you that it wasn't a specific moment. It was actually, my ex-husband says, you're running that whole business. You could be doing this for yourself. And I thought, you're absolutely right. I could be doing this for myself, and
Mhm.
it would make my life easier because I was taking my daughter to daycare. They were taking her to school. They would pick her up, and then I would go get her because I was putting in, 10, 11-hour days.
Mhm.
And it was a lot. It was just a lot for her. And so I thought, I don't wanna do that. I wanna take my daughter to school. I wanna pick her up, and so that was, I guess, was the turning moment. Not that my boss wasn't bad, the work wasn't bad, but just the desire to want more for myself and for my children was where I thought I could I can do this. I at least need to try.
I love that because similar stories of people uh, that have gone through the same thing, include myself. I didn't really have it either bad. It was after COVID for me. I was like, I need to be. I can't be putting my daughter through this. I need to be there. I'm like, I can do it. And that's what psychologists call, I guess, self efficacy. Efficacy, is that the word? When you
I
stop
think so.
stop
Mhm.
outsourcing other people, your potential for somebody else, and then you just work for yourself.
Yeah.
So whenever you started, I guess, what were your fears and your doubts? Can you share with us?
Oh my gosh, so many fears. First off, the phone doesn't start ringing right away. The business doesn't come in. When I did start my business, I didn't when I left Southern Pavers, I didn't wanna take any of their work. I didn't poach anybody. I didn't step on his toes. I appreciated all the things that he had given me. So, I started with a little ad in the paper. I did in the Breeze, and then I did a little coupon book, and then it just started from there. The fountain pools and spas, they were one of my first accounts as far as, a commercial account. And, it just grew from there organically. And now I'm at the point we do no advertising. My business runs word of mouth, only, and we just have a I have almost all the big builders, like, in Cape Coral, and it's because of our work ethic. Good work, hard work, go up, do the job, the bills,
Yeah.
and it has allowed me to grow from where I am now, where I was, to now over $5 million a year company. That's a lot for the amount of people that work for our business.
Mhm.
We all work very hard and do our specific jobs. Everybody just is like a family here. It's just very nice. I'm really blessed, honestly.
I
Really.
I I hear you talking, and it's so uplifting and encouraging for myself, and I'm sure for everybody that is listening, because you know that in the construction industry, women in particular,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
really hard to be taken seriously.
Oh, yeah.
To going to let me I'm reading here in my notes. Going to that point, can you tell us exactly how and when did you feel now in your business that you
Mhm.
were taken seriously as a construction person?
I'd say it was tough in the beginnings. In the beginning, they're men, um, our clientele tends to be older now. I would say it's more younger, but in the beginning, older people because pavers were more of a luxury item. I feel like when I started
Mhm.
21 years ago, but you could tell. You could tell that they just didn't feel like I had the knowledge, and I would get questioned a lot. But there was a lot of people that took a chance on me, and you would be surprised how many people appreciate a woman in business more than a man. They feel like we are more detailed, more honest. Definitely the honesty comes in there, and we care. And that, I think, is what helped carried me. And I would say by year 3, was very confident. I had no problem walking away from somebody who didn't believe in what I was selling, you
Yeah.
know?
And that
Yeah.
is true too. I've experienced that myself. If they are not trusting whatever you say, better not to do business with those type of people, because then it comes back to bite you. I've
Yeah.
also learned
Oh, yeah.
the same lesson. Do you think then about 3 years it took you to gain that confidence and the knowledge of talking to customers, or just the knowledge in general? Because I feel like you already had the knowledge.
Yeah. No, I never felt like I was lacking. It's just that people don't always some people are just set in their ways. Lots of chauvinistic men out there. So you definitely get that. There's just no way around it. But you
Hmm.
just have to my thing was always kill them with facts and knowledge.
Yeah.
And people can't dispute that. They can dispute a lot of things, but you can't dispute facts and knowledge. The biggest thing you will always come up against is people that are knowledgeable. Like you'll have people go there and before me, they're gonna call, get three estimates, so they have a guy show up before me and he tells them, yeah, we can overlay this concrete, it's no problem, you'll have no issues. And then I show up and I say, no way, it will not last. I promise you, I can show you three drives, like that. Well, guess what? They don't listen to me. I mean, I don't always get that job because they think I don't know what I'm talking about. Now, 21 years later, everybody feel like I don't have any issues. Not that I won't run across somebody like that, but I'm not really in sales anymore. I basically run the office now. And I have
Yeah.
salespeople, and then Mark is out in the field. So I don't run into that too much anymore. But even Morgan, my daughter, she does sales for me. She'll tell me that she still gets it.
Yeah,
She
because
still,
I mean, it is hard to be seen and respected out there. And I'm telling you, I used to work the same as you did, and even now
uh-huh,
in my line of work, I still get it.
uh-huh.
Where I recommend something sometimes, and I said, "To my experience and my knowledge, this is what's going to happen," and they were like, "No," they still do it anyway, and then
Yeah,
they come back.
yeah, yeah. My mom always says you can't fix stupid. It just is.
I've heard you talk about your family. Let's talk about a little bit about your husband Mark and your daughters Morgan and Allison, who have been your constant, of course. I think as far as I've known you. Um,
Mhm.
how is now becoming a wife and a mother and a businesswoman change or shape your version of success?
Um, it just, it's kind of like lead by example. I want my kids to know that working hard, you can achieve anything. I've always had that mindset that you can do anything you want. If there's something you want, work hard, get it, achieve it. There's nothing that's unreachable. Maybe if you're dyslexic, you couldn't be a doctor. There's some things you couldn't do for everyday things. If you want to own a business, you can own a business. You learn the trade, run it. If you have the skills to run something, you can do it. With my kids, have always taught them to work hard. They're so different. My girls have two different dads. I've been married three times. I got pregnant very young with Allison. I had her on my 20th birthday. We got married. It wasn't obviously the right thing, but you do what you do because, you're in the family way. And that didn't work out. So my daughters have completely different personalities, and work ethics. Just everything about them is very different. But the one thing they both have is a lot of love, empathy for other people, kindness. They're very smart girls and very hardworking. And I like to think that comes from me, not their fathers.
Okay.
Work, uh, he is so much like me. It makes it very easy. He cares about this business. When we met, he was a builder. We met on a job site. He actually was building a $2 million home on the river. And I came to give him a quote because Tricircle had referred me to him. Me, creative. I don't know who the other one was. He doesn't even remember to this date. But he called me first, and I got the job, and I got the man, which was nice. But his work ethic is just amazing. I mean, he's up every day at 5:30. He works this business like he started it from the ground up, which I can't tell you how much I appreciate, and I give him a lot of props because he's really honestly taken my business further than what I think I would be able to take it. He's got this whole different set of builder skills that I just don't have. He can walk to a backyard and he can see the levels and he can dream your project for you. And he's just got more visual capabilities, I think, than I have. And he's just so like adamant about it. I think that's why your business has grown, things being done right. We do things that other companies don't do. We just go the extra mile. Like when it comes to, say, doing a retaining wall, don't just stack our brick. We don't use the plastic things. We then set we back cement the whole retaining wall. We backfill it. Like we do it to where it will last. And this last hurricane that we had, not one of my retaining walls failed. And that says a lot. And we did a lot of repairs on a lot of other retaining walls that people just stacked or used the little plastic thing. Yeah,
The
yeah, the
connectors, yeah.
connectors, the tricircle pushes. Um, we no issues, and that says a lot. And that's the kind of things that we do that I feel like sets us apart and makes us a better business. If it wasn't, I think, for him, I would still be doing well in business, there's no doubt, but I don't think I would be taking on the giant projects that we are taking on.
So you found
So,
your perfect complement. Like
yeah.
the same as with my husband and I have the ability to create, the ability to see the potentials as well as he does. But as where I see
Mhm.
whole, he sees the in, you know,
Right.
and
Mhm.
the design and the vision, like you're saying. And I think it's
Mhm.
part of them being a man, right?
Yeah.
Right. But I don't want to take away from, as you said, you were going to be successful regardless what. Coming
Oh, yeah.
in, I know Mark. I don't know him as a friend, but I've seen him as the way he approaches people and the way he's, when I used to work at that place, the way he even talks to people. I think it also gives you a little bit of trust, and particularly needed when you want a successful business. So this leads me to my
Mhm.
next question. How do you do to balance, even though you're not in the field, you're still,
Yeah.
managing the
Mhm.
business. How do you
Yeah.
do for the business not to overcome the family aspects at a family like dinner, let's say?
That's difficult because sometimes we do end up doing a lot of shop talk. So there are times that I have to say, let's just curb it. We can talk about this tomorrow at work. But a lot of times it doesn't bother me because there are things on my mind too. Always we just work so well together and we're always balancing, jobs, three full-time crews, a full-time repair guy. We have to have those discussions because I'm in the office all day and then doing my running and he's in the field all day. So when do you end up talking about stuff? It's nighttime, it's at dinner time. But the one thing that I feel like balance our life with is we do a lot of vacations, short vacations. Obviously, when you're running a business, that is the one thing. If you are hands-on, where
You can't
vacations
leave for
become
days on
no,
end.
no,
You
it's
have to be.
Thursday through Sunday. Yeah, Thursday through Sunday, or it'll be Friday through Monday. So you're only taking off like 1 or 2 days of work. Because otherwise the lead up to take a vacation is so hard to try to make sure everybody can work, make sure nothing goes wrong, and everything always goes wrong, right? A delivery
And
doesn't
even
get
when you're on
made.
vacation, I feel like you still have to be on top of your stuff because if
Oh
not,
yeah.
if not,
Yeah.
who?
Yeah, you're just not there. But I do think because we have a lot of people in place, like Mark's son Chad, we're definitely grooming him to take on more responsibilities. And we
Hmm.
just have really good people. My grader is just wonderful. I think we have surrounded ourselves with really good people that care about our business as well. And I always tell myself at the end of the day, it's not heart surgery. We're doing pavers. It's not the end of the world. It's something we can tackle when we get back. But that is one of the things that we do. I like to take, at least 4 to 5 little getaways during the year. And the other thing we do is we always reset. We close down from December like 23rd and we are closed till January 3rd. And it's nice for all of our crews get their nice bonus. The people that work for us get a nice bonus. They get paid through that time. And it's just a nice time because and I know that our busy season is October, November, December, just running balls to the walls. And then, just a January, February, and March. So I always feel like that's a nice reset too, because it is a stressful, busy business and your phone is ringing nonstop, and you're putting out fires here and there and trying to make people happy. And because we have so many big builders who be held accountable, when you're on their projects, people are building $2 million homes. When they need something, you just have to be there.
Correct.
There's always the stresses, but you have to take the time to reset. And when we go on vacation, no shop talk at
So
all.
let's talk about I guess every every successful story has its set of storms, right, to get to where you are. Why don't you tell us, I guess, without, if you don't feel like going into specific, but tell us something about your hardest season, whether it was professional or personal, and what lesson did you learn from that season in particular?
My hardest was the startup, the
Yeah.
beginning. Yeah. Crying every night, thinking, "What did I do?"
I
I
could
mean,
feel it.
I left a job. Okay, let's go back. This is, say, 23 years ago. I was making 17.50 an hour. Nowadays, it's McDonald's money. It's not a big deal, but 23 years ago, that was really good money for a uneducated woman. I was not college educated. It was a leap of faith to leave that job and to start my own business. And the money doesn't just come in and the phone doesn't just ring. So you have a lot of doubts. Did you make the right decision? Is it going to work? Will this take off? And you just have to push back that and believe. Believe in yourself. Believe you can do it. Believe that good work, hard work, honesty pays off. That's what people are looking for.
So if you have people like like me or other people that are feeling
Mhm.
stuck, uncertain, like they know they can do something, they know their craft. What,
Yeah.
like, look at the camera and tell them, what would you tell them to, like, shake him and be like, you can do it?
But believe in yourself, even the future. I'm a big manifester. I've always said, see your future, see yourself being, mind yourself while you're doing, why are you doing this? Are you doing it for your kids? Are you doing it for your family? Are you doing it for yourself, for your own freedom? Whatever that is, keep that in your mind. Focus on the future. Blinders. Don't let the chitter chatter get in your way.
Which I know you are.
Don't let the people, you know, take you off track. Just stay focused. And you know what? If your business or whatever you're starting is not doing well, if you have to take another little job or do something to keep the money coming in, do it. Work harder. I worked so hard in the beginning, telling you, I mean, my kids to school, go run my jobs, pick my kids up. They would be in the car while I'm doing sales appointments. I mean, I can't tell you how many, my kids can tell you how many stories of them sitting in the car with the AC running, waiting for me because I'm doing a sales appointment. I mean, you just do what you have to do. And then I'd get home, do the grocery shopping, cook the dinner. Once everybody was done, I'm in the office doing all my paperwork, putting in my orders, sending out my proposals. Figure out what makes your job as easy as could be. I mean, for me, I used to do handwritten proposals because I would come see you, we talk about it, I write it right out, right? We're done. And then I didn't have it. I learned that like maybe 2 years in because I was working till 9, 10 o'clock on the computer. And I'm like, and you're trying to remember things because you're going to anywhere between 2 to 5 appointments a day. And it's hard to remember all the details. So then I got a 2-ply and I would fill that out, right? And then it's done. Out of sight, out of mind. You have your numbers right away because the early bird gets the worm, right? People, they like to see their numbers. They don't want to wait for you to call. I mean, I'm sure that you yourself have called for estimates and then people either A, don't show up, B, don't get you your numbers for 2, 3 days, or a week, or after you call that. And I just thought if I give you your numbers right away, you are more likely to hire me. And I don't have to go home and spend those 4 hours in front of a computer typing everything up. So I just found a way to make it more streamlined.
For
And
you.
you can't be set in your ways. You have to always streamline and always change what's working, what's not working for your business, what will help make you more successful. But always, always blinders on, full steam ahead, and give it 100%. You're going to fail 100% of the times that you don't try. So you have to try. You have to, because I will tell you, being an entrepreneur to me is the best thing. It's literally the best thing that you could ask for. It's a lot of responsibility. I'm responsible for, I don't know, 15 families, but I don't take that responsibility. And I love what I do. I'm very passionate about it, and I wouldn't give this business up for anything. I just really enjoy it.
And I
It's for
want to
me.
emphasize, and I want to emphasize how I hear you, and it brings so much joy to hear somebody else talking the way sometimes I talk, because you've already, it's not that you've crossed the line, because it's something that you have to maintain, right?
Mhm.
But you already started, you already developed it, and it brings so much admiration. And I hope the people listening can take away all of the advice that you are giving, as someone with experience, especially for women, for especially for women, because it is a little harder. No, obviously, depending on
Mhm.
the business that you start, right? One, to be taken
Mhm.
seriously, and two, to kind of let go of that fear, in hearing the naysayers and all that stuff, which is why I'm also doing this podcast. Don't mind my little baby there running
Yeah. No, I don't mind.
screaming. um,
I
which is
love
why
it.
I'm doing this podcast, because I
Mhm.
want to share exactly what I went through, what you went through, and show that
Mhm.
it can be done. It can be
Yeah.
done. We just need to, I guess, push each other to become better, and show that it can. That it can. Fear should not stop us from anything. So
Mm-mm.
if you could, just to finish and to close out, because I really don't want this conversation to be over, because I really admire you and I love hearing your advice for
Well,
free.
thank you. I admire you as well. I think you're super bright, and I think you can pretty much do whatever.
I appreciate you. It means a lot coming from somebody like you. So if you could talk to yourself, let's say 25 years ago, back when you were
Mm.
still working at, whatever, or even 20,
Hmm.
at that version of yourself, what would you tell her?
I tell her stay focused on on a future that you deserve. And a lot of people don't feel like they deserve everything that life has to offer. Believe it, believe it, and own it, and always life. You know, it's kind of silly. You know, when you're in high school, right? They're like, "What do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to do?" You know, and I never knew. I never knew what I wanted to be or do, but I knew that I like to work. Like, I was never afraid to work because I like money. Like, that's the thing. I've never wanted to be poor. I've never wanted to struggle. I saw my mom struggle in the beginning, and then when my dad died, you know, she had to work harder to support us girls. I just never wanted that for myself. I have always thought you have to work hard, save your money, um and have a good balancing act, because life is a good balancing act. But I always say, like, just the work ethic is the most important thing. If you are a hard worker, things will come, and life will lead you where you should be led. You would just have to believe in that, believe in yourself, and let life take you where it will take you. I didn't know I'd end up where I was, you know, when I started on a manufacturing plant and then went to an installer. I didn't know, like, I wasn't thinking when I started there, oh, I'm going to own a business. It just happened. Like, I thought, I'm running somebody else's business. Why am I not doing it for myself?
Exactly.
Why not? You know, and so that was it. Like I said, I went all in. I cried every night for the first year thinking, what the heck? But I kept going at it, and it paid off. Here I am 21 years later. I'm a force to be reckoned with. Our business is something to be proud of, and I am very proud of it. You know, we have done thousands and thousands of jobs that people are super happy about. So all I can say is just believe in yourself, work hard, save your money, do the right things, always be a good person, and life will come back around for you. I believe that. I believe everybody that is good, life will just treat you good, you know.
Yeah, that is true. Anna,
Yeah.
thank you so much tremendously for taking the time in your busy day to talk to us, to share your story, to encourage other people to do the same as you did.
Yes.
Donna's story isn't just about a company or a paving road. It's about paving the way for other people like her, like us, about proving that fear doesn't really disappear. To just learn to walk beside it, to put it past you and move forward, to put blinders, as she said, and not listen to other people. That's what this podcast is about. Thank you, Donna, for being here today. This is Café Entre
Thank you,
Amigos
Esther.
and your host, Esther Flores. See you next time.
Thank you. Bye.